we are a big believer in getting more robust fiber networks. We also believe that the individual counties over the years have been treated very differently, and that every county deserves their own middle mile ring. And again, there are counties that have multiple middle mile rings. Vernon is a good example. I think Vernon must have 5 rings. I mean, you have to have like 6 fiber cuts before you would lose service in Vernon County. That's robust. That's a good job. On the other hand, if you're up in Rhinelander and that one string gets cut, you're dead in the water, sometimes for days. If you're in the town of Morrison in Brown County and somebody cuts where they're getting their DSL, and 2 weeks later they can't find a technician to go out to fix it, you start screaming at the county about the lack of 911 access. So, there are a lot of reasons. So we look at it as 5-pronged approach. And we've been, very public about this and very transparent about it. Number 1, we need to get service out right away with fixed wireless. And there's going to be that home in the trees you can't get. And then we're going to try to put a 30-foot wood pole up, and we're going to get the electric utility out there. We're going to put it on top of a silo, and our installers are now trained to climb silos. In some cases, it's less expensive to build a 110-foot harvester silo than get fiber to that home. So, there are a lot of interesting things that are being done to get service. Number 2, we connect those with the middle mile, and we get significant community input on a comprehensive plan where we're saying, where does the county need service? August, where's your 911 towers? August, where's your landfill? August, where's your school systems? August, and he provides all of that information, and all of the counties are really open with that because they've been getting beat up for years on getting adequate facilities. Kewaunee County, there was a guy waiting when we turned on the tower because they couldn't use credit cards for the tipping fees at the one of the salvage places in Kewaunee County. Third thing, after we have middle mile, then we use the middle mile to branch off with fiber to the premise. And we'll do it either ourselves in areas that aren't committed for RDOF or that we know somebody else is doing something. The hardest thing is our industry is so trained to not share information because of our competitive nature that we don't want anybody to know what our plans are for fear someone else goes there first. It would be nice if we did have that trust to be able to say, hey, you're doing this, we're doing that, and we're all going to get this done in 18 months instead of in 7 years. We're not quite there yet, but I think we're building bridges. The 4th thing we do is we partner with cellular providers on getting ubiquitous cellular service, and we work with 2 of the big 3, and it's been working out very well for us and for them. We were very involved in the FirstNet deployment, so we've seen cellular service get deployed in our counties. We have programs where the big 3 carrier doesn't even pay us anything. We just put the tower up and give them free service for a period of time. And we've always convinced them that there's enough people there because we know where we're building the towers, there's people there. And if they don't show a ton of dropped calls, they're showing not having dropped calls because there's no service there to show. So people that use the heat maps will say, there's nothing on my heat map. So, and the last thing is our little Bug Tussel University kitschy thing where we teach people about artificial intelligence and we teach people how to use a mouse for the elderly folks and everything in between.
The best thing for Steve at Bug Tussel is to have a great partner on the ground who can negotiate and manage and point to the places. So if there's not a Jessica on the ground, their job becomes 100% harder. And so when we're all good partners at the table, this is going to happen so much faster. And I think that's really important to take home for everyone? How do we employ so much education that we're just the shining star all over the state, that we are so educated on this issue so that we can partner with all of the different providers? And I would say it's essential to have someone at a local area, because it's a management of multiple relationships. And if you don't have somebody negotiating that, again, this takes so much longer. You're going to still have people missed unless you have an August in your back pocket. And really, if we had a system placed all over the state that the checklist was there, the mapping procedural items are all done and checklisted. It gets bumped up to a regional way of seeing things. We're not going to overbuild middle mile. We're not going to miss anyone. It's just a new amount of just structuring that we have to do. We have a golden moment, and we just have to capitalize on it.